We are catching up with Sheridan Ekatoni from The Parenting Place. So firstly, welcome to you, Sheridan.
Morena.
Hey, let's kick things off with this. It is International Women's Day coming up. So what an opportunity to honour the women in our lives. So Sheridan, let's put it out there. Is there someone that you'd like to honour today on the radio?
Yeah, I was thinking about this as I was prepping, and I thought, there's the usual incredible women in my life. So my mum and my grandmothers.
Mm.
But I just thought it'd be a great opportunity to honor actually my work mentor, who is Jenny Hale, who a
Oh,
lot of our listeners, I mean, she's a national treasure.
yes.
But within Parenting Place, we call her Queenie because she brings such a wealth of knowledge. And I just was thinking, who has been a real mentor? And Jenny Hale has been, for me, a real mentor. What about you, Di?
Look, I say this every year, but I'm just going to put it out there. And if she was listening today, she'd be so embarrassed. I'm talking about my mum,
Oh,
Glenys. She
yes.
is a gentle spirit. And I just
Mm.
love her. I often think, and this is for people who know the story of Little Women. There are four
Yes.
girls, and the gentle, sweet one was Beth. And I think that of my
Oh,
mum. So,
oh,
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So anyway, before I get all teary, and I am starting to, let's talk about a really important topic today, and that is how do we raise confident and resilient girls? How do we uplift the girls in our lives, whether they be our own children or perhaps if you're an auntie or someone who, is in the lives of others?
Yeah. Oh, such important work. And I love that you went to Little Woman. It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite movies with my girls. I'm raising three girls,
Wow.
three very different girls, teenagers. Well, one's an adult. But I really love framing this for parents around, understanding we have three psychological needs. It sounds very fancy,
Mm.
but it's actually really practical as to what we can do as parents to raise confident and resilient girls. The first is connectedness.
Mm-hmm.
And Di, I know you've got a son, and that's a whole nother show that you and I could have because I have a son too. But
Yes.
with our girls, we go from being the funnest, coolest human to now I want to be dropped two streets down when you drop me off to school.
Yes. This is
And
true.
teenagers, right?
Yeah.
Teenagers are really good at acting like they don't need us. But connectedness is so vital to raise these confident girls. And I think, Di, we want to be really willing to be there for them when they need to. My daughters seem to have an 11 o'clock schedule where they want to jump on my bed and unpack the day just
Mm.
when I want to go to sleep. And so I'm
Yes.
really starting to just lean into that. So the first is connectedness. The second is the need for competency. So we want our
Mm.
kids to know that they're good at something. We feel good about life. We feel confident. We feel resilient when we feel like we're going out and doing something great. So the teen years especially is a great time to start that dance class, to take chess club at school,
Right.
to really support our teens and what their interest is. Because when we feel confident, we feel really good in life.
Isn't it interesting you bring that up? Because I think sometimes when our kids do become teenagers, maybe we take that, our hands off a little bit and
Mhm.
go, oh, well, they're becoming more like adults. But actually, to facilitate that, at least for them, is such a good thought that actually, no, they're still growing into being adults. There's still a lot to learn from
Yes.
there. And maybe
Yeah.
to just enable them with those new things is such a good idea.
And I love that idea of facilitating. I know for
Mm.
me, my kids, we've talked before, Di, about they're all creative. So I'm the Uber driver. But
Yeah.
when I shape it as actually I'm supporting them being competent in something they're passionate about, I'll be that Uber
Yeah.
driver. It reshapes it for us. And lastly, this need for autonomy. And Di, this is one I
Mm.
was just talking to my hubby today. I think I got really wrong with our eldest, and we've learned, lucky I had another three to come. But I've
Okay.
really, really been challenged in what does it look like to give our kids a sense of autonomy? And I think it can be very easy to hold on too tight in the teen years. And when we do that, that's when things often go underground. And so for parents listening today, my encouragement would be what are the areas with your teen that you can give them some autonomy? I often tell the story
Mm.
of a friend told me that she had decided her teenagers would do the weekly shop. They would do it online and they would be in charge of ordering exact amounts, and she was not going to top it up. And I thought, this is crazy. Who's going to allow a teenager to do that? But what a beautiful stretch into their ability to problem solve, to think about what food we need for the week. So finding ways of giving your kids that much needed autonomy that they strive for in the teen years.
Yeah, I mean, these. I thought you were going to end with another C. I was going to say the 3 C's, but no, you mixed it up there. You mixed it up there with autonomy. Look, so we've talked about connectedness. We've talked about competency. We've talked about autonomy. We've got about a minute left. So I'd love to go back to connectedness because I do wonder, particularly in those teen years, and I know that parents listening in today, they'll be at all different stages of that parenting journey. But there is a sense perhaps during those teen years that it is really, really hard to connect with your children. So how would you recommend doing that? Now, you talked about sort of working on their schedule. They're more like 11 p.m. at night. I mean, look, I'm going to be honest, I am fast asleep by then. But and I bet you want to be
as well.
So how do we facilitate or foster that sense of connectedness with our kids?
Yeah.
What's another tip there?
Such a good question. And I think one of the things that we as parents are not always great at is listening. And I think, it's understanding that we might get, due to brain development and lots of other development happening in the teen years, we might get a lot of grunts, especially from our teen boys, even our girls. I dropped off a very grumpy 14-year-old this morning. She wasn't willing to have a conversation, but it's kind of picking our moments when they are ready to chat. What we want to do is really listen. And I think we're very good at the moment they start to chat, we think, great, I'm going to talk about this issue and this issue. And we launch in with our problem solving great system that we have, and we don't really listen well. So when you get the opportunity, stop and listen, reflect back what you're hearing them say. Don't solve. We go into fix it mode as parents. And so, and lastly, side by side in the car, best opportunity to have conversations. You're not eyeballing them. Hopefully they're relaxed. And so, we've got to pick our moments, I think, with our teens.
Yeah. So good to chat, Sheridan. This is a conversation we could be talking about for a very long time. But hey, women to women, and happy International Women's Day coming up on Saturday. For some reason, I've been invited to a women's morning tea and a women's afternoon tea, so I'm going to be well fed come Saturday. I hope you have a lovely day.
You too, and especially lots of love to your beautiful mum. She sounds like a legend.
She absolutely
Not surprised
is.
at all, Di.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Sheridan. And of course, you can check out all that they do there at the Parenting Place at parentingplace.nz. Thanks again.
Welcome.
Thanks for joining us on Rhema. Now, if you found value in today's content, hit that like button. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel with the subscribe button. This really helps us to continue to produce more quality content for you. And hey, if you'd like to stay updated and never miss any of our future videos, ring that notification bell as well. Don't forget to follow us on our other socials, which are in the description below. And until then, stay tuned.